Let me just ask you one more question about how you practically can stay safe. You said you don't have 24-hour security detail. You are the second most, I'm going to say, hunted member of the House. Is it up to you to get your own security support? Where does that funding come from? I mean, what happens now when you are very much, I would say, in focus at a time like this, and your family, your children are very much in focus? I mean, what practically can be done to keep you safe?
I mean, the reality is the ways in which the laws are written and the rules are done in Congress, unless you are in leadership, you do not get full detail. You don't have access to full security. Sometimes when there is a specific plot that the FBI identifies, you will have detail, which is what happened, towards the end of the last election cycle in 2020, when Trump chose to use me as a tool to incite fear and hatred to energize their base to come out and vote for him. We saw plots to assassinate me and my family come to focus, and I was afforded security. But the threats never really went away, and we don't have that kind of access, and we don't have the financial resources to be able to do that. I am not wealthy. I can't hire 24-hour security to protect myself and my family, and we certainly don't have enough campaign resources to be able to do that. And so a day like today, again, it is very scary for me, my husband, and our 4 children, because it is a realization. We used to theoretically talk about what would happen if they found our children when they came to look for us. What would happen if they found our loved ones when they came to look for us? What would happen if they found somebody who looked like us when they were looking to hurt us? And now we know. And it is one of the most terrifying moments. And I hope that we will have an honest conversation that in this moment, we have to think about security differently, that it is not only leadership in Congress that is deserving, that there are some of us that face a level of threat that should be protected, because we no longer can take these kind of comments and incidents and say this is not something that will not happen everywhere. We obviously can see that these people are highly motivated and have the resources and the tools to harm us. I am grateful, I should say, before we end our time, to federal agencies, both the FBI and Capitol Police, who diligently investigate the death threats that I get, who have arrested and prosecuted many people, some who are still incarcerated. I'm grateful to them, but I'm worried about the ones that fall through the crack and what would happen to us when we come face to face with those people.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Congresswoman, thank you for your time. Please stay safe. And let me just say how deeply sorry I am that you even have to think about this, that this is part of your reality as a congressperson. Dealing with threats to your life and your children's lives should not be part of the American democratic process. Thank you for joining me tonight.
It certainly should not be. Thank you for saying that. Really appreciate it.